The Bremen Town Musicians will spotlight some of our favorite world percussion instruments. Listen for the steel drum, whose origin is from the West Indies, and the kalimba, whose origin is from West Africa. Once upon a time, in a village far away and so very tiny, there was a little red farmhouse standing next to a big hayfield. If you kept looking a little bit harder, you could see that there was an itsy-bitsy wooden stable with a donkey by the name of Hee-Haw who lived there. Hee-Haw worked at the farm for a long time, and he worked very hard. As Hee-Haw grew old, he couldn't pull the farmer's wagon as he used to, and because they had worked together for such a long time, the farmer, who was planning to buy a new donkey young in age, told Hee-Haw that he should think about traveling to some new and exciting places to see the world before life passed him by. So realizing that he was no longer useful to the farmer, Hee-Hawed an agreement, and the farmer sent him on his way, wishing him farewell and providing food for him. Now Hee-Haw smiled and said goodbye to the farmer and began walking along the dusty road and began to sing. Bremen Town, that's where I'll go. To Bremen Town, that's what I know. It's Bremen Town, the place to go. Bremen Town, that's where I'll go. To Bremen Town, that's what I know. It's Bremen Town, the place to go. Well, if you've never heard of Bremen, you should know that it was a famous city, a very special town where you could find only the finest musicians in the world living there. How Hee-Haw wanted to be a singer so badly, he would sing all the time. Hee-Haw kept walking down that old dusty road for a while and wasn't paying much attention, and suddenly a loud howch! Why, he had just stepped on the paws of a dog. That dog jumped so high and so fast, he was so surprised. Hee-Haw said, "Ooh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know that donkeys do have big feet." Well, after that, the dog felt better and introduced himself. With a gruff, scratchy voice, he said, "Wolf, Wolf. My name is Wolfs." Wolfs told Hee-Haw that he had a master that had just bought a new hunting dog, and that he felt that Wolf was just too old now and he could no longer hunt. Alas, the master also had no need for him anymore. So hearing one another's sad stories, they quickly became friends, and since Wolfs had a nice baritone voice, they both decided that they would continue walking to Bremen to sing together, and they sang. Bremen Town, that's where I'll go. To Bremen Town, that's what I know. It's Bremen Town, the place to go. Bremen Town, that's where I'll go. To Bremen Town, that's what I know. It's Bremen Town, the place to go. As they finished singing and moved further down the road, they noticed a funny-looking ball of fur smack dab in the middle of the road. Wolfs growled, and suddenly the fur ball flew up in the air, which caused poor Hee-Haw to drop his bag of food, and out fell pieces of chocolate out of a sack. A plump-looking calico cat began to whimper because now all the chocolate had fallen into the road. Muse was her name, Muse of Toulouse. Muse's master had no use for her, as she had a different kind of appetite for a cat. She lost her appetite for mice one day when a piece of chocolate fell into her bowl of milk from her master's table. She began to get excited as the donkey and the dog told her where they were headed. To wonderful Bremen Town. The more they spent time together walking and talking, the closer friends they became, and they sang together with Muse. Meow, meow. Bremen Town, that's where I'll go. To Bremen Town, that's what I know. It's Bremen Town, the place to go. Meow, meow. Bremen Town, that's where I'll go. To Bremen Town, that's what I know. It's Bremen Town, the place to go. As they continued on the long, dusty road, they came to a farmhouse. Looking up, they saw this very funny-looking rooster who was nervously pacing back and forth on top of the barn, and he was crowing up a storm. "Why all the crowing?" Wolfs asked. "Because the farmer and his wife plan to make me doodle-doo into rooster soup." Hee-Haw said, "Look, Doodle-Doo, we're headed to Bremen to sing and live with famous musicians. You know what? I happen to think you have a great crowing voice, and you should come with us." Well, Doodle-Doo happily left with them right away, but he told them that they should soon find a good place to sleep since it was getting dark soon, and Bremen was still quite a distance away. However, Doodle-Doo said, "My friends, I know of a perfect place that was close from where they were, and there's just enough light shining through the window. We will easily be able to find it, even if it is nighttime." None of the four friends had any idea that the house they were coming to was full of robbers. They thought it was just another farmhouse and came up with a very smart plan. They would open the window wide, get on top of each other, and sing for their supper. They hoped that the farmer and his wife would think that their voices were so beautiful that they would be invited for some dinner and given a place to stay for the night. And that's when they all began to sing. Meow, meow. Bremen Town, that's where we'll go. Bremen Town, that's what we know. Bremen Town, the place to go. Meow, it's Bremen Town, that's where we'll go. To Bremen Town, that's what we know. It's Bremen Town, the place to go. Do, 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 do. The robbers all ran out the front door screaming, "Monsters! Ghosts!" They ran so far and fast down the road that they disappeared. Hee-Haw, Wolves, Muse-up-to-Loo, and Doodle-Doo looked into the house and noticed that dinner was still on the table. There was even a freshly baked chocolate cake, which Muse-up-to-Loo could hardly wait to taste. With delight, all you could hear her saying was, "It's chocolate! I love chocolate! See, it's chocolate! Chocolate!" Doodle-Doo crowing says, "I don't know about all that chocolate frosting, Muse, but I think we sounded pretty good." "Mm-hmm," said Hee-Haw. "We must be some great singers. Just look at all this good food." Gobbling up the food quickly, they were so tired from the day, they just found their own spots and fell fast asleep. Muse slept next to what was left of the chocolate cake. Then one of the robbers came back because he just didn't believe in monsters and ghosts, and he stepped right on Muse. Seeing her glowing eyes, Muse leaped up, terrified, and jumped onto his face. She pulled his ears with her nails and slapped him in the head with her tail. The robber couldn't see. Then he ran over to Wolves, who bit him on the leg. Hee-Haw was scared and kept kicking the walls until Doodle-Doo fell right off the house and cock-a-doodle-dooed with all his might. It was only a few minutes after the robber had entered the house from the back door that he was running straight out the front door as fast as his feet would carry him, crying that he believed in ghosts and monsters after all. His friends all screamed too and ran after him. The following morning, Doodle-Doo woke everyone up. They had all slept very well. They looked at the empty house and walked around the empty garden. You know what? They said to themselves they thought this was a much better place to live than Bremen, and that they could sing with each other every day. They're all very old now and all very happy. And to Bremen Town they didn't go. Meow, to Bremen Town we will not go. So happy here, it's very clear. To Bremen Town we will not go. Meow, Bremen Town we will not go. So happy here, it's very clear. Bremen Town we will not go. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Meow. happy here. It's very clear. To Bremen Town, we're gonna go. Meow, meow. Bremen Town, we're gonna go. So happy here. It's very clear. Bremen Town.